it's a bad thing, but they do just kind of just put brown into one bucket and just mix it up together.
Yeah, they're like, all right, the Iraqis and Iranians and the people in Turkey. I'm like, they are not the same people. Y'all can't do that.
It really is. We want to destroy America, and we want to destroy Jews.
Yeah. They flat out say that in the movie.
All right.
Bang, bang, pow, not the names.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien, man. Dylan O'Brien
bounced back from his car wreck.
Yeah, he did. He was in a terrible car wreck, man. And, biggest thing about it, he finally found his way out that maze, man. Yeah. Finally got out. And
had to shoot his way out.
Had to shoot his way out. No, he actually found it the right way. Not cute little, that O'Brien boy. He's kind of grown up a little bit. Y'all remember that boy, that cute little kid who used to run through that maze? Like, hey, man, there go that O'Brien boy. He's something else.
Hi, it's me.
It's me. He used to run through the maze, delivering the newspaper to everybody on his little bicycle. He was such an innocent looking boy. But some people say, yeah, I know he wasn't right. I know. It turns out that O'Brien boy, that cute O'Brien boy, he just needed an excuse to go out and kill people. And in this movie, he was out there. And here, let me go ahead and tell you first of all, the movie's American Assassin. And I don't know much about this series, but it is very popular in book form. I think if I was reading correct today, they wrote 13 books in this series. I think that's 12 of them right there. Yeah, a lot of innocent books. I mean, a lot of books in this series that were written right here.
Those look like books you pick up at the airport.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's one of those books where it must be popular with people for one reason or another, because the author whose name Vince Flynn, he died in 2013 of prostate cancer. Oh. And they just pick somebody right back up to keep on going.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Get a series going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And with this movie, it's let me see if I can find the trailer right here for this. And with this film here, it stars Dylan O'Brien as Rap. And what he does is, he's like any other guy out there. He's had his troubles in the past, but he's getting his life together. Out there hanging out on the beach with a girl, got something in his life that's leading him the right way with this girl that he just wants to settle down, marry her, and then all of a sudden these terrorists come in and attack the beach right after he proposed to his girl, man. And this is something that has stuck with him for the last 18 months. Now, after he's trained himself to be a weapon, he's so bad. He is so not bad, but badass. He is so badass that Sanaa Lathan of the CIA, she's like, we gotta get this guy. We gotta bring him in. She sees him training out there. She sees him being frustrated, and most of all, she sees him being a great candidate for terrorism. And at this point, when they put him in there, the question is, yeah, he's skilled, he's gifted, he's deadly, but can he control his emotions? Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for American Assassin, and we'll come back with our review.
This whole thing is just a means to an end for you, isn't it?
No.
As you can see, as Martin said, he's so badass. The only one that can train him that's more badass than him is Batman himself. And
So that other assassin, is that Taylor Kitsch?
Yeah.
Do they mention?
We'll tell you about him in a minute. Hold tight. Yeah,
right.
I know what you're about to ask, but hold tight, because it's
Do you? You know what I'm about to ask?
Yeah, I do. I do. Okay. And if it's not what you're about to ask, just hold tight, because it might be revealed. It might be revealed.
Fair enough.
But and then we got to let you know that I think you and I were the only ones to see this, because there was another screening tonight, and that's what these guys went to go see. But the thing with this movie is that, they're trying to pass this off as something like maybe along the Bourne identity, where there's more of a political thriller element in there, in addition to the action. And you know, if Jason Bourne is kind of smart and political, even if I'll even go James Bond level with this. If James Bond is smooth and debonair and kind of classy with what he's doing, then this movie is nothing but a drunken street fight. You know, because this is brutal. It's a motherfucker with a broken glass talking about America, bro. Fuck you. You know, it's
like Jason Bourne and James Bond will go out the way like, I'm gonna shoot you, but I'm gonna make it nice and clean and sweet. This dude is like, I'm gonna fuck you up and just like, Jesus, like blood is everywhere. Like you're leaving crime scene.
No, I'm not saying this is good or bad, but as Corey was saying, this is a brutal ass film, man. And don't try to, you know, this is like the bro ultimatum, man. It's not trying to be, yeah, man. It ain't, man. It's trying to be. Hey, look, it's trying to be smart. I know what it's doing, but this is like a dumb jock sitting up here trying to be smart and talk about terrorism along with politics. Terrorism is bad, bro, and it makes me sad. Let's kick their ass, man. You know, that's what this is like.
It's on some super bro shit because he takes MMA lessons and he does CrossFit.
You're just like lessons.
Yeah, man. In 18 months.
Yeah, man. This shit is dumb, man.
They're throwing some Zumba classes too.
I hope he's not playing Mayweather.
According to this movie, no, he would win because this dude's superpower is anger. Because I'm not bullshitting with y'all. This dude in this movie, 18 months, they just go past his superhero origin. We catch up to the point where he's the Punisher.
Yeah, because that's what this looked like. Okay, his loved ones get killed, and he's like, I got to take out the organization that did this to me.
Well, no,
I was like, oh, it's the Punisher.
The funny thing is, like, they show that scene on the beach. That's literally the beginning of the movie, and he gets shot. So it's like 18 months later, you're like, all right, I guess he's recovering and all this other stuff. No, he's recovered, learned MMA, gun training. Like, he's got better training than military people do.
Do they have a matrix there? Where
I guess so.
Prepare the enemies.
No, he is just super driven. I'm telling you, that's his.
It's weird, man.
No, it's really weird. I looked at it and said 18 months later, and this motherfucker, he's a superhero. He's trained himself to be a weapon, man. He's done some superhero shit.
Yeah,
and you learn about his past before he's doing all this training stuff, and it's like completely opposite. He's in law school. Like he's his master's degree.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys calling him super bro. This is made for that kind of like young college, like freshman year, kind of like do nothing, but that's your fantasy. Like, dude, I could get picked one day and learn all this stuff.
Like if I put down the video game controller, I can do this. I can do this game.
18 months just doing this by himself, and also just keep in mind, like he is so angry that's part of his training too, because his other power is just being fucking rude, being an asshole. Because and I like the way the movie just has to like just kick you in the head with, look, he's angry. That's why he does this. Because there's about 5 minutes in the movie where there's an anger montage where he's walking down. First of all, he gets kicked out of his karate class because he goes too far, and they just he does this shit every week, and they're like, out, get out. And then when he's walking down the street, he does that shoulder shit. Hitting everybody with his shoulder.
No reason.
For no reason. Then he goes to the gun range and he's shooting everybody else's targets but his.
Damn.
And people are like, what the fuck, man?
Your one guy goes like, you're gonna get yourself killed, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's even going to the point where he's walking towards the target while people are shooting. You know, people, and that's just to show you, he doesn't give a fuck though. He's angry. They took his woman and now he's out for revenge. And I'm gonna tell you something also, for this guy to be so smart, to be so talented, to be so driven, I'm not gonna give it away, but whatever his plan was before the CIA found him, it was dumb as fuck.
Hell yeah. Like, I could do this. I'm like, man, I don't think you can.
You looking at this is like, this is not gonna work, man.
It's full government agencies that can't attain what his goal was. We're like, yeah, I got it. I had it. Y'all had to take me out. I had it.
You were right, man, because
the problem is the government wasn't mad enough.
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
That's what he says.
They need an extra dose of anger because they split in the movie. They trade places with who's the dumb one now, because they started out with him being kind of dumb. He still does some dumb things through the movie, but he'll do dumb things and it turns out, well, that was dumb, but the CIA is dumber. Because he always tells them like, hey, we told you not to run in there and do that. We told you to stick to the mission. He's like, yeah, but if I didn't, the mission wouldn't have got done. And I did it. Like, but shit. Damn, right. Got you.
If only we were angrier, we could have come up with a better plan.
And, this is, I Dylan O'Brien, I would say this, that he has grown up. I mean, it's not that he can't handle this role.
Yeah.
But it feels like the movie is a dumbed down version of the books. The books, I don't think the books, from what I was reading, I'm not sure, but I don't think that it was driven by the murder of a girlfriend or fiance. I think it did have a wider terrorism message.
Well, just going from the illustrations on the cover, I'd say the main character is much older in the books.
You know what? Honestly, I wouldn't know. But Dylan O'Brien, can he handle action? Yes, he can. Is he a good actor? I think so. But looking at the material that they give him, he is not a likable character too much. Not to me.
No, and that's the thing about this movie is like, every character in here, you're like, all right, I just got to find that one likable person. Yeah. There's not a single one for me. Like, there wasn't one person I was like, oh, yeah, I identify with them. I understand their plight. I want to root for them. Everybody in here is like, they are scumbags to the fullest.
Michael Keaton, too?
Oh, yes.
No, they all are, but I got that. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is a nasty action film, man, because it's about assassins who have to go out there into the field with no backup. You get caught, that's it.
That's
your
your ass.
Yeah, they tell you got to kill yourself. So these people have to do very, very brutal things to get the mission done. And that's what this whole program is about, getting the most ruthless people that they can. So we're centering on not only the most ruthless villains, but also the most ruthless heroes who don't mind innocent people on the side getting shot.
Oh, damn.
Who don't mind collateral damage on the side. Man, that's people getting shot who would just walk in, pregnant women.
That's one of the things I'll give this movie full credit for. Like, when things go down and it's in a crowded spot, it's a lot of bodies everywhere, and none of them are the agents that they're shooting at. And you're like, all right, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit where it's like, look, if you don't like it, too bad. That's who we are. We don't give a fuck, bro. And
by the way, they're doing all this in other countries, so like not in America. They go fuck up Istanbul and Rome.
Yeah, no, they go everywhere, but not America, not on our soil. But this is but the thing that also with them being young, like you said, and the reason why I compared this more to a Bond movie is because it's so basic. It's such a basic bro film that is.
Do they have Q division?
That's basically what they are.
Yeah, that's what they are. I mean, they even have moments in the movie where if you saw the trailer, like that's sometimes that's where the conflict comes in, because these guys. They go to this cabin out there, and it is a James Bond moment. I'm not even saying it's dumb, but they go to this cabin out in the middle of the woods. It's shack. Everything is nasty and dirty, and it looks like it's a broke ass program. But underneath it, they got like virtual reality training out there. Shit that don't even exist.
Yeah,
that's like the X-Men's Danger Room.
Yeah, it is. It's like the fucking holodeck from Star Trek, man.
Dude, they got that, and then they built like an IKEA in the basement. So
they built a whole IKEA where they hire badass extras to come in and participate.
That's a wild shit.
It's some shit where it's kind of blowing my mind, because I'm like, man, this is some shit I just don't think exists.
Right. And the thing is, like, if it was shot, more fanatical, kind of like Kingsman, you're like, all right, I can buy into that because they're this underground thing, but they're trying to go for that gritty realism moment.
Right.
And it's so weird. It's such a conflicting, picture.
So you got it right there. Like, they're trying to like give you, because the violence, for a lot of people, then not a lot of people, but some people are not, it's not going to be their movie because it's not a clean action film. It's a dirty, nasty, mean-spirited action film. And it seems like they're being, it has a street level feel to it. Even when they go to other countries. Yeah. It's like a street thuggish ass James Bond, man. But when I say this like a basic bro or even just a basic action film, they take the most basic of plot lines. It's pretty much the villain in here. It's pretty much Taylor Kitsch building a nuclear bomb.
Okay. Yeah.
And the reason why that's funny is because between Dylan O'Brien and Taylor Kitsch, it's like the world is protected by supermodels who are attacking terrorist supermodels.
I don't even think there was like one like moderately decent looking person. Everyone's just gorgeous.
It's like that TV show Quantico.
Yeah,
exactly like that.
Now, does he feel really threatening? Because Taylor Kitsch is really good at making bombs.
Well, is there any mention of how much Taylor Kitsch and Dylan O'Brien look like each other?
Yeah, I thought that was him at first.
No, that's the funny thing
I kept
about
getting
it.
confused as it was going back and forth.
It's like there's a modeling agency that uses these agents, like Zoolander. They use them as super spies too. And there's one supermodel that went rogue and is trying to build a bomb.
Yeah, because there's a moment in here where they see Taylor Kitsch like getting out of a car and like just shooting up some spot in some city, and I was like, that kind of looks like Dylan O'Brien. Like, are they gonna confuse him and then start chasing Dylan O'Brien down? Like, yo, he's messing up. We can't control him.
Or like Michael Keaton's gonna be pointing at both of them. And they're like, no, he's the bad guy. No, he's the bad guy. Shoot him. Oh, which one is which?
Yeah, man. And then like to say like this is the most basic of movies. They take the two most like the way you could say these are definitely the bad guys, Muslims and Russians. They just throw them in together. You're just like, all right, y'all didn't even try.
No North Koreans.
No, they didn't have the budget for that.
No, man. It's kind of just. I mean, I ain't gonna say they did this on purpose. I'm not gonna even say that it's a bad thing, but they do just kind of just put brown into one bucket and just mix it up together.
Yeah, they're like, all right, the Iraqis and Iranians and the people in Turkey. I'm like, they are not the same people. Y'all can't do that.
It really is. We want to destroy America, and we want to destroy Jews.
Yeah. They flat out say that in the movie.
There are moments in the movie they say we want to kill Jews and Americans. So anybody else, if you standing next to a Jew, move, because we good with you. But it's I will say this though, like the characters in the movie, and when I say it's brutal, man, the violence really is brutal. I mean, there's a torture scene that's rough. You got Michael Keaton biting necks. He's gone all vampire on people and shit. It's they really don't pull back on that. The torture here is it's gonna make your flesh crawl, man. They really don't hold back on that. It's unflinching what they do, and it's almost daring you to watch. Again, keeping to the theme of this being a really nasty film.
Mm-hmm. And I give them credit for actually showing violence against women. Like these people are in the movie, like agents and everything. Usually they'll show like a female agent just get smacked and like it's nothing. Like some females in here get fucked up.
Oh man, if you are on that shit right now, where it's like you don't hit a woman no matter what, even if they're a terrorist, then you know what? This ain't your thing, man, because they pretty much choked the fuck out of one woman in this movie, man.
Choke, drown, shot.
Yeah. And they kind of have it coming, and I want to say that because in the movie, in the context of the movie, yeah, this person had it coming. I'm just saying, in the context of the movie, I don't think anybody should get mad about it. But again, if that's a sensitive point for you, then don't bother with this. And the characters in the movie, I don't really like any of these characters. They're flat. They're kind of goofy, to be honest with you. But Michael Keaton, man, it's funny. If y'all ever reboot Batman, I don't give a fuck how old this Batman's supposed to be. Get Michael Keaton back, because Michael Keaton is a better Batman today than he was back then.
And with the new technology, he can turn his neck.
And exactly. They can make some new fabric for him so he can turn his shit around. And you know what? And I really like him in the movie because he's one of those actors now who you can give him something that's kind of flat and cartoonish and goofy, and he's seasoned enough to know how to say certain lines.
That's what a good actor can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring something to it. But people like, look, I ain't here to hear Shakespeare. I ain't here to hear dialogue. I want to watch action, man. And Michael Keaton, with all these young punks in this movie, he truly is badass. He's in good shape, and when he's whooping up on these young dudes, you buy it, man. And I like it because you root for it too. Because Dylan O'Brien, look, I know his girl was killed and he's sad about it, but he's so whiny about it in this movie. That is making him stupid. It's making him unlikable. And Michael Keaton is like, don't come in here with that shit. I'll whoop your ass, boy.
You gonna turn it off? Am I supposed to feel sorry for you?
Never, ever let it get personal.
Whooped his ass with a USB cord. You thought getting beat with a belt was bad. That's just humiliating right there.
I'm glad you like Michael Keaton because I didn't.
Oh, really?
Watching him in this shit, man, I was like, all right, Michael Keaton's been on the roll. He had Spotlight, Birdman, and Spider-Man Homecoming. So I'm like, all right, he's been crushing it. And seeing him in here, it's like, all right, he just crushes it when there's a great director. Because the director of this didn't know what the hell he was doing with his actors. Like, I looked this dude up, and I was like, all right, what has he done that's, something along these lines? He's done a whole bunch of episodes of, like, Homeland and other TV shows
and
like
Dexter,
that.
I believe.
And Dexter, yeah. So it's like, all right, you don't really know how to pull in and rein in your actors to get more of a cinematic feel as opposed to a TV serial film.
Yeah.
You remember the director's name?
Michael Cuesta.
Michael C.
I like Michael Keaton because, like I said, he took some material that's not very good, and I think he did the best he could with it. But the reason why I understand is because Michael Keaton, his character, even if you like him, you got to admit, he does it's speech after speech, monologue after monologue, and all of it's like, either about being a true badass, but not letting your emotions get to you. That's repeated over and over again. Or it's like some true America shit. Because with the movie, it's doing some things where it's playing off of America's anger and frustration with terrorism, but it ain't really doing anything deep with it. I mean, we all know where this shit is coming from, but no, they quick to talk about patriotism in America.
Patriotism exists because people like you, people like me, need a higher cause, something bigger than us. And as soon as it starts to,
he didn't even listen. People looking at this and they're just kind of like, if you're anything like me, it's just like, man, okay, this is about your 10th monologue right here. Bite somebody's neck. Get back to some action. Let's get back to the shooting, because that's what the movie does best.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you just want to go for a no nonsense action movie, I'm not saying I like it better than the last Bourne movie, but in a way,
come on, he had to be better than that.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie, and because this is not, I'm gonna say it right now. This is not a very good movie, but it knows what it's doing. It knows. I think that it had higher ambitions than what it's being presented as. However, if you don't go in with those ambitions, you can enjoy it as an action film. It's an action film. It ain't as smart as it thinks it is. It's not as political or social as it thinks it is. No, it's just a badass action movie, and I'm saying that in the context of a movie that has nothing else. So I'm not even saying that it's great. I'm not saying you need to rush out and see this at the theater.
Yeah, like when it kicks off, it starts again with that scene of the terrorist attack on the beach, and you're like, oh wow, they're starting a movie like this. It's gonna be pretty good, and then it just comes to a grinding halt. So you're like, all right, I got to get recruited. I got to go through my training. I got to do this. I got to listen to 15 Michael Keaton monologues.
Yeah. We can't montage this.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, let's get this go make it go fast, and jumping into VR for some reason. But yeah, like when the action kicks back up, you're like, okay, I appreciate the gritty part of it, the brutal part of it, and like they showed in the trailer, and I feel like they did a good job of showing it. There is a ton of blood and gore here, and you saw that buddy get hit by that car in this trailer.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, like I said, man. Even the good guys, they get it bad in some of the gory ways. And I'm not even. I won't say anymore if you really don't want to be spoiled on anything, and you shouldn't. But just know that if you look at this and you're thinking, because this has been really, if you know the books, they're talking about how deep the books are. If you've seen the trailer and you think that you're getting something because you see Michael Keaton in there, and you're thinking that you're getting something a little deeper, you're not. You're not. This is a kind of a routine, what should be a straight to video action film that just got to play with some really cool toys.
Oh, okay.
got to play with just has a rich dad and gets a little bit more of an allowance.
The best way to describe this movie is basic. It has some cool action stuff in it, but everything else is just so run of the mill basic. Like, you're not going to be surprised by anything. A good chunk of this is extremely predictable.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, this shit is textbook, man. I don't care how much they gallop around the world and talk about terrorism. This shit is fucking basic, man. Once you get a dude, Taylor Kitsch of all people, building an atomic bomb, anytime somebody builds an atomic bomb, it's like, all right, man, I'm out. This shit's not that smart. Shit.
Even his motive is like, man, you knew what you signed up for.
Yeah.
Why are you doing
he wants revenge against the program because it ruined it.
I don't want to ruin it for nobody, but I just said the movie was predictable.
Fucking James Bond been stopping bombs since the 60s, and now we still doing this shit? No, man. Give us cyber terrorism or something. Anything but I'm building a nuclear bomb. Yeah. I would take that.
Like, fine.
Man.
Doing that whole thing of like...
I think back to Black Hat, and I was like, no cyber terror.
Okay. You know what, though? I mean, we got to find something. Selling plutonium in the middle of a bazaar or a town square, that kind of shit.
When the last Fast and the Furious all with cyber terrorists?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But that's not to say...
It's had a stampede with cars.
That's not to say it can't be enjoyed. Just another thing with this is, besides being basic, is that... there's a lot of writing in here where this could have been more if it weren't for the writing for TV. You know, a lot of this, the music feels like a television episode.
Yeah.
Some of the way they end scenes, like somebody to come back, and you'll have that right before commercial shot where that person's just looking, waiting for that fade. All that.
It's already been cut for TNT.
Yeah, you know, that person just waiting for that fade, you know. Sometimes look at the camera and shit.
Commercial comes on. Whoa. All right, I like this now. Get it.
But the biggest thing is that they're setting this up too much. It feels like they really are going out their way to set this up for a franchise.
It ends, and fuck it, if it's a spoiler, it ends exactly the way Sleepless does. It's like, oh, what's next? Elevator closes. You're like, ah.
Yeah, it's a setup.
Well,
for a franchise.
with a series of books, they would be looking for a franchise.
Yeah. That's why they tapped into this. They want to get into the next Bourne. They want to get into the next. They want to go to the area where Jack Reacher didn't succeed.
Yeah.
You know, Jack Reacher really failed, and I think this is. I do think that I'm giving this a rental. I mean, it's the action parts are fun, and the movie moves fast. And I do admire it for the violence that it went to. I really don't. It's going to make people really squirm with some of the violence. However, with this, I do think with me giving it a rental, I do see room for this to be better. It's almost like they had a lot to play with here, but I see them also being kind of careful for a new entry in here. So they kind of are playing it basic. It's almost like a Force Awakens, where it's like, okay, we want to go ahead and start this franchise, but we're going to play it safe.
Yeah, you don't want to confuse anybody with this movie.
Yeah. So I think for some people it'll work. Yeah, the rental, man. What about you?
Yeah, I think again, it's a really basic movie. The storyline is basic. The action is pretty good, and I feel like this is the textbook definition of a bookend film, because the beginning started really strong, and I thought the ending, the way one of the a certain fight scene at the end went at the end, I was like, wow, I don't think I've seen that, you know, in a film before. So I like this action going on, and there's a certain thing that happens at the end of this. I was like, all right, I appreciate that. It's just so generic. It's just, like, it's great value cereal. Like I know what's
great value action.
Yeah, man. It's like, all right, like I know, you know, this is gonna happen. I know this is gonna happen. Like you can predict everything that's gonna go on. I didn't enjoy any actor in this movie. When the action was going on, great, but Michael Keaton kept doing that you want to get nuts moment, especially when he's talking to Taylor Kitsch. So I was like, okay, here we go.
There is a moment like that, yeah.
This is basically a moment where it's like, fuck you. Why am I here?
And Taylor Kitsch is actually doing his monologuing villain moments, like, I want you to see this, Mr. Keaton. You know?
Yeah. Wild shit.
Welcome, Mr. Keaton. I'm not going to kill you. I want you to see the fruits of my labor. I was like,
yeah, man. It's wild. It's like, just do it. Like, that's the thing, too. You're like, yo, these assassins are like, when the second you get a chance to kill your target, and they refuse to do that shit.
Yeah, man. I tell you, this shit is, for it to be so violent and for it to be so brutal, this shit is cartoonish, man.
You guys got caught like 3 times.
Yeah, man.
Okay, but yeah, it's one of those
sure
things.
about these rentals?
No, I am. Yeah, it is a rental. It's one of those things, if you do get a chance to check it out at home, or it does come on TNT because it is cut for it, you're going to enjoy it because you're sitting at home and you can be distracted by other things while you look up at the action. But the second the story kicks back in, you can just put your head down and do something else until the action kicks back up.
Yeah.
So this is a rental.
Yeah. When you see them sitting down like that, that's when you can like go do something else. when you in the other room, you hear gunshots, go ahead and run back in and catch the rest of the movie.
I ain't never seen a movie with spies be caught so many times and they live.
They even talking, they're like, well, Mr. O'Brien, hey, where'd he go? Right here, motherfucker.